welcome to your daily collective astrology report. My name is Astro Queen, the queen of keeping astrology simple, anti-fear astrology, and just making it so that you can understand whether your day is going to fuck you up or if it's going to be smooth sailing. And honestly, it's a smooth sailing kind of day, so let's get into it. So while today is going to be an easy flowing day, there's been a long-standing backdrop of tensity when it comes to having this pull to start paying attention to the things that we need to emotionally change and reflect on. And that's because of Jupiter and Mercury over here in Cancer. So what's happening is we've got a long-standing T-square on the board between Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, Jupiter at 29 degrees in Cancer, Mercury at 26 degrees in Cancer, and both of them square Chiron at 0 degrees in Taurus. Now, Mercury is at its starting point for its retrograde in terms of degrees, which is 26, and it's going to take it a couple of days to move out of the orb of influence of Pluto and Chiron. So that this backdrop that we're feeling, especially when it comes to this pull to kind of take a look at what we need to emotionally release, it's also a really big backdrop for like walking by faith, not by sight, and big lessons on emotional security, especially within ourselves and our own self-value and the things we value. So Mercury in Cancer is all about what emotions are attached to the logical thoughts that you have. So in this case, with this retrograde, we're really focusing on what familial patterns did you pick up in childhood that you learned on how to, like, what based your logical thought processes, like what emotions helped with that, and what you carried on into adulthood. And Jupiter is expanding on that, whether you like it or not, because that'd be just what Jupiter do. And Pluto retrograde is, like, changing everything from the inside out, because retrograde means internal. We have a grand trine on the board, though, to soften things up between the moon in Sagittarius at 22 degrees, trine Saturn at 14 degrees in Aries, which is then trine Venus at 17 degrees in Leo, back trine the moon at 22 degrees again. So this do or die energy that's associated with, like, the moon right now in Sagittarius, that's very much putting a we need to have fun vibe and put more fun into our structure, especially when it comes to our relationships. And especially when it comes to the relationship with ourselves and how we shine, because Venus is in Leo, right? So really kind of self-care energy by getting the fuck out of the house and just going and do something fun and including that in your structure of things, because Saturn is in Aries. So you make your life based on what you want, your limitations, your desires, and the things you don't want, and you have to take 100% responsibility for those decisions. And sometimes being responsible is remembering that you can have fun as an adult and make that a part of your self-care, and that shit is absolutely necessary, especially with what the fuck we got going on outside. There's also a yacht on the board between, again, Jupiter and Mercury in Cancer, opposed to Pluto retrograde, but Pluto is trine Mercury, Uranian energy and Mercurial energy are a lot alike, but in different ways. Uranus in Gemini, which is funny, I said Mercury, at 3 degrees, which is also a Gemini degree, is involved in this trine, and so is Mars at 29 degrees in Taurus, which is hurry the fuck up and get me into Gemini where I'm happier. Because Mars does not like being slow, methodical, or intentional with what their efforts do. But this is where they take the ideas from Aries and turn it into actual foundation. So while Mars doesn't like it, Mars understands the point and why the fuck it's gotta do it. It's just happier to be in Gemini. Mars and Uranus are then trine Mercury and Jupiter in Cancer, who's then opposed. So yeah, it's finger of fate, finger of God. It doesn't have to be that fucking complicated. It's a life lesson with a cheat code and a how-to manual. Okay, so listen, how to deal with the fact that you may not necessarily understand why you're expanding on certain emotions, why you're having to go down rabbit holes, why you're suddenly crying in tears and you have no idea why. And it just feels like a lot because Jupiter is expanding and you're seeing all the things and you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to separate the logic and the emotion out of this? Where did that come from? in your childhood? Where's the starting point of that lesson, right? Now, how to fix that? Mars in Taurus and Uranus in Gemini. This is a really big lesson on listening to where you're being guided by the changes you have to make. And this is very rebellious energy. This is very much, hold my beer and watch this shit. So, intrusive thoughts and shit coming out of nowhere. Totally on the fucking board. Mars and Taurus at 29 degrees. It's hurry up and get your ducks in a row, because we're moving on to implementing the ideas based on this foundation. And we're starting the building process, right? So, at the end of the day, this yod, the cheat code to the lesson of not knowing what the fuck you feel and feeling a whole fucking lot and out of nowhere, is to understand that your emotions are telling you something, and your emotions are tools and a map, just like astrology. So you really shouldn't fear any one of those. You should just start actually listening to yourself and listening to them, because Chiron and Taurus is all about having faith in your own self-worth and your own self-efficacy, which is your ability to get shit done and do shit. Love y'all. So, easy flowing day, little bit of backdrop of tense, but there's a cheat code thrown at us. Love that. I am offering a newsletter. The first episode comes out on Tuesday. Newsletter, whatever. We're just going with it at the time. www.spiritually-southern.com. Scroll all the way down, sign up for my newsletter, and get a 10% off coupon on any one of my readings to use once as a thank you from me. If you want to book a reading, link in bio. I have a couple of deals going on right now that are pretty fucking dope. They're going to book fast, so get yours now while you can, because soon you're going to have to wait a few months for those. I can see it coming. I know it is. So yeah, get yours before it's too late. And as always, y'all stay safe out there.